Hello. So let's talk about miscellaneous stuff in the Prophet 6. So we're going to be mainly looking at the arpeggiator and the miscellaneous parameters section here. I'm not going to worry about the sequencer because honestly, it seems like every sequencer I run into that doesn't have an onboard screen is really difficult to use and just not even worth it. So that's just my take. You're welcome to disagree with me, but I'm not going to cover it unless there's like a huge outcry. Just, please cover this. So let's start with the arpeggiator. So you set your tempo here. You can also set in the globals some different parameters like, am I taking the clock from USB? Am I sending out a clock? All that stuff is available. I've got it set to internal clock right now so I can have some control. We turn it on here. And we are selecting our musical subdivision here. Right? So we can go faster. And we can go slower. Okay. And we can choose our mode over here. Right? We can, choose different up, and down, random, my favorite. Everything's random. Okay? And then assign mode is order. So that's the order you play the notes in. Pretty straightforward. Miscellaneous parameters. Pan spread is how far apart notes get spread over the spectrum. If this is 6 oscillators, right? So you can have 6 notes at the same time. So if I play 2 notes, they come out in stereo on each side. And you hear them kind of move around. This is a really beautiful thing for pads. Because it makes them sound much bigger, if we give a little bit of an effect, like a reverb. It makes them sound really big. So that's pan spread. Program volume, not used enough in the factory presets. There's my gripe. My only gripe about this really is that the factory presets are all wildly different volumes. This lets you set each preset add a volume so you can get some more consistency as you're going from like 50 to 51. So think about that when you're making your own sound design because it will help you a lot later. Pitch wheel, we actually can hold this pitch wheel button down and move the pitch wheel and set the range for how much a pitch bend is going to go. So very useful if you want to have different programs that work a little differently. We can have octave shifts or just whole tone, that kind of thing. And then lastly, key mode relates to when we're in unison mode, what note takes priority. So I'm in unison mode. Let's just kind of get... let's get some kind of bigger sound, right? Right? So if we are in unison mode, that key mode sets the priority of when 2 notes are pressed. So right now, I hold the button down, you see the screen says low. So that means the lower note, if I push 2 keys at the same time, the lower note will sound. And you can hear I let off the lower note and the upper note actually sounds. You can change this by using the increment buttons. Okay, so now it says high, so that means the high will take priority. Right? And then there's last. So last means whatever was last played. That one's a little more subtle to demonstrate, but if you've used unison patches that are monophonic, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so that really only applies to unison because that's when the synth goes monophonic, right? Because it assigns all the oscillators to one note. That's how you get those big, big sounds. So I hope this helps you to understand these sections.